Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Reardon. I am the Outreach Specialist with Delaware Commute Solutions. I want to thank you for joining us today for our info series for rerouting the commute Vanpooling solutions for SEPTA disruptions with our guest speaker, Kate from Commute with Enterprise. I know we're talking right now about the SEPTA disruptions, but I just want to also make a note that Vanpooling is a great option, not just for those who may be affected by the SEPTA disruptions, which have started this past Sunday, and with the possible elimination of the Wilmington Regional Rail Line, which can occur January of 2026. But this is also something to think about for all of the Delaware employers or community organizations throughout the state, just not if you're affected by SEPTA. We're discussing it now just because that is something that is going to be occurring, and we want to make sure that employers and their employees are aware of their commute options on how to get to work. So we can advance to the next slide. And before I hand it over to Kate, just a quick review of Delaware Commute Solutions. And if you have any other questions about the program or just want more information about the benefits and how we can assist with commuter benefits, our contact information for myself and Kathleen Greer will be at the end of the presentation. Feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to assist you in providing more information about Delaware Commute Solutions. So we are a free commuter service program under DART for State, which is the public transportation for Delaware. What Delaware Commute Solutions does is we work with employers, employees, higher education institutions, and community organizations to assist with transportation options. We do this because our mission is to improve the air quality of Delaware and to reduce traffic congestion on our roadways. Our program does this by encouraging all modes of clean commuting, vanpooling being one of them, which we're going to discuss today, but also carpooling, taking transit, biking and walking, teleworking, and compressed work weeks. Delaware Commute Solutions is dedicated to reducing the number of single occupancy vehicles on our roadways. And by doing this, we're assisting with transportation options to assist with employees and students getting to where they need to go for work or school. And this is a program that is free to anybody who lives, works, goes to school in Delaware. And it's also a great employer, school, or community organization benefit because we can provide commuter benefits. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kate. Thank you so much for joining us today and providing us this information about vanpooling.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, James. Thank you so much for having me and just giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about what we do and see how we can potentially help, obviously, employers and the employees get to and from the work site. James, are you able to go to the next slide? Perfect. So before I hop in on this, just a little bit about me. Obviously, I'm Kate. I work for Enterprise, specifically the division of Commute. I have been with the company for 20 years. I'll be 21 in November, and I have been running the Commute division for the greater Philadelphia region, New Jersey, and Delaware for about 5.5 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide just a high-level overview of the program and the functionality. I know Amy's going to help manage the questions. I can't see everything with the screen being up, but I will definitely be pausing with the opportunity to ask questions as we move along. So how to commute with Enterprise. So Commute with Enterprise, like Amy mentioned, it is vanpooling, and the idea is that it truly functions like a large carpool. So what we do is we look to connect coworkers that live within a close proximity and also ideally have a similar schedule. We provide a new vehicle for them. It does have to be a 7-passenger vehicle and up. And then we can help them come up with a central meeting point. And a couple examples of that could be a park and ride lot, a Target parking lot, sometimes depending on how close everyone lives to each other, could also be the driver's house. And then they use our vehicle to get to and from work. The idea is they split the driving responsibilities and the cost. We do not provide a driver. It is not a shuttle service. So we do look for one of your employees or hopefully multiple employees to volunteer to be a driver. We do run their MVR. It does not have to be perfect, but we can't have any of the big things. We can't have any, drunk driving, DUIs, or anything like that. Not everyone has to be a driver. We have a lot of vehicles that only have, say, 2 or 3 approved drivers. Some only have 1. Some people really like to drive and they want to feel in control and they're like, yep, I'll do it every day. Others, maybe they don't have a driver's license or they just want to use that time back in their day to relax or check emails, do online shopping, whatever the case is, but they get that time back in their day if they choose not to drive. The vehicle does live at the approved driver's house or whatever the central meeting point is. So whether that is public parking, street parking, any and all that is fine. This is not your traditional rental where it would have to be returned when a vehicle is not in use. So that is another benefit that it lives with them. Each Vanpool does receive 200 miles of personal use a month. So that is a perk of being a driver. So if they have an errand to run or anything like that, they do have the flexibility to utilize the vehicle for that. Any questions so far in the chat before I go to the next slide, Amy?
I do not see any questions yet.
Okay, perfect. James, can you go to the next slide, please? Perfect. So here are all the bells and whistles and really what comes with the program. The first one that I want to touch upon, this is a big question that I get, is the insurance piece. So we as Commute with Enterprise, we do provide the insurance on the vehicle. So nothing falls to you as an employer or the individual driving the vehicle. So what that means is we cover the full collision damage waiver on anything up to a total loss. And then for the liability coverage, depending on the size vehicle, it's either $500,000 and then we also go all the way up to $1 million. The only time those coverages would be null and void, these are the same contract violations, whether you were renting through this division or you were renting at the airport to go on vacation. They're all the same for our company universally. The big ones are obviously drunk driving, DUI, off-roading, negligence, basically somebody doing something that they shouldn't be doing. We do not see a lot of that in this division because it is typically for commuter use, but I do always just like to put that disclaimer out there. The other piece to this is there is month-to-month convenience after the first 90 days. So if you did want to pilot the program, you're not entering into, say, a 2-year lease or anything like that. There is 30-day flexibility after the initial 90-day pilot. We do provide the newest, latest model that we can to our Commute clients. Statistically in this market, once a vehicle goes out, our average Vanpool length in this area is over 7 years. So we do refresh the vehicle every 6 to 12 months, so you can have confidence that your employee is driving in a new, safe vehicle. But typically when they're out for a long time. So we do try to provide the newest one that we can pull off the line when they come in. We also cover all the maintenance costs. So that is not getting billed to you. That is not getting billed to anyone in the Vanpool. So oil changes, tire rotations, inspections, anything minor that would pop up, we cover all that cost as well. We have 24 hours at roadside assistance, 7 days a week. So even if it's late at night or if there was an overnight shift or an early morning commute in, we do have a toll-free number that they're able to call and a service that will come out and help them. And then obviously the cost savings for the folks that are splitting the cost of the Vanpool as opposed to driving themselves. I know this is a lot of information. Any questions on any of these?
No questions yet.
Okay, perfect. James, are you able to go to the next slide? Awesome. Thank you so much. So these are just examples of what our vehicles look like. So I know I mentioned in the beginning, it does have to be at least a 7-passenger vehicle. So with our program, it has to be 7-passenger and above. So we do have minivans, we have SUVs, and then we do go all the way up to the 15-passenger vans. We do also have hybrid electric minivans. We have had a push for more sustainable cars over the past 2 years. So we do have that in our fleet as well, if that's something that is important to you. Another question I get as far as the occupancy goes, does the vehicle have to be full in order for it to go out to your employees? It does not. From a cost perspective, we do try to have as many participants involved as possible, since typically they're sharing the cost. But we do have some vehicles that are out there right now, some routes that might only be 60% full or 70% full. So there's a lot of customization when that piece comes in as far as what that looks like, on what the goals would be of your employees, and obviously you as an organization from the occupancy standpoint. Any questions on the vehicles? No. Okay. James, I think there's one more. Yes, thank you. So this is the last slide. So this is my contact information. That's my cell phone number, my email address. I apologize, my email address is really long. I have a very long name. I believe Amy's going to be sending this out afterwards, so you can always just copy and paste it from there. But if you are interested, if you do have any questions, if you want more information on a customized program, please reach out. We do try to customize every single program based on that specific employer. Typically, everyone has different employee needs depending on where they're coming from and what they're looking for. So it is not a cookie cutter type program. All the benefits that I reviewed, they are standard across the board, but there are a lot of customizations that come with it once we start looking at the employee dynamics. But again, that's my contact information. I know it'll be sent out afterwards. So if anyone has questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Any questions? And I know if anybody does have questions, you can put in the chat, you can unmute yourself. But one question that I know I have heard from contacts I have talked to was how does the cost, like who pays that? Are there different methods to that?
Yes, so there's a lot of options as far as the billing piece goes. Typically what we do is we will bill the employer for the rent of the vehicle. And then from there, that is where the customization comes in. So I will provide a couple examples on that. We have some employers that will provide a subsidy towards this because of different challenges that they might be having as an organization, whether it's recruiting, retention, it could be parking challenges. It could obviously be everything that's going on with SEPTA right now. But they will provide a subsidy towards this for each person that's on the Vanpool. That amount can vary all over the board on whatever you think is right for you as an organization. We have some companies that range anywhere from $100 a month per employee to $500 a month per employee, and everything in between. There's no right or wrong answer on that. The other piece to that is if you already offer the commuter benefit for your employees for transit, those pre-tax dollars can be used towards the Vanpool program. So because the size of our fleet nationwide, we are considered a transit agency. So that is how that benefit can align with us. So if you do already offer that they can use those pre-tax dollars to go towards this.
Great, thanks for that. And also just to add, if your organization is interested in learning more about how to offer the pre-tax, please reach out to us and we can provide you. Delaware Commute Solutions does not do that, but we could provide you the information for you to look into for your organization.
Yeah, good point.
Any other questions? I don't see any questions coming through, but Kate, I want to thank you for your time. And as Kate and Kathleen both said, we will be providing this recording, so it will be sent out through an email with links to the recording as well as additional information. It will also be on the Delaware Commute Solutions website. So feel free to review it. If you need to share it with coworkers or other organizations that you believe might benefit from knowing this information, feel free to do that as well. And we can go ahead and advance to the next slide. And here is our contact information for Delaware Commute Solutions, myself and Kathleen Greer, as well as our general information. So if you need information just about the Delaware Commute Solutions program and how you could offer these free commuter benefits to your employees, to your students, or different community organizations, please feel free to reach out. We could set up a separate meeting to discuss that. And please feel free to reach out to Kate if you need a more personalized information for Commute with Enterprise, if you think this could be a possibility for your organization to look into. And with that, I'll open it up to any other questions. I don't see any coming through the chat, but I want to thank you for joining us today. And again, if you need anything after this, reach out to all of us. Thank you, Kate, and thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day.
Thank you.